How does a minor accident change into a deadly force situation? Unacceptable. We have to be better than this.
If it was an accident, man, you could have did something other than pull your gun out.
Tensions are high after a minor traffic crash led to a shooting between an off-duty police officer and a 26-year-old man. This all unfolded this morning near 49th and Mill Road. Police say the officer opened fire after the man pulled out a gun, then hit the officer in the face with the weapon. The man who died is Elijah Wilks. Family members pushed back on MPD's account of what happened. Mary Jo Ola tells us what police and Wilks' family had to say.
Emotions were high in Milwaukee Thursday after a fatal shooting. Milwaukee police say that a 40-year-old off-duty officer was involved in a minor crash with another car while heading into work. Chief Jeffrey Norman says as the two drivers got out to assess the situation, the 26-year-old driver pulled out a gun.
That subject proceeded to strike the off-duty officer in the face with his firearm. The off-duty officer drew his department-issued firearm, and the two individuals exchanged gunfire, and the subject was struck.
Family members identify the 26-year-old killed as Elijah Wilks. They say he was getting ready to head to a relative's funeral at the time. The family disputes the police account after they say witnesses approached them.
I want to know, why did you kill him? Why did you shoot him that many times? What was the reason? You know what I mean? Over a car accident.
One woman says she was on the phone with Wilks when this unfolded.
Somebody hit the car. He got out. He asked him was he cool? And then all you heard was gunshots and get on the ground. You no longer heard Elijah say anything.
The police union says that the officer had injuries to his face.
Boy. So we got to talk about yet again another Black Lives Matter narrative falling apart, okay, in real time. And this one is, again, very fascinating, because the family of Elijah Wilks swore up and down that Elijah was a good boy, that he would never do anything wrong, that he was an upstanding citizen, you know, had no anger issues, nothing like that, right? He would never do anything like what the police are accusing him of doing a minor traffic stop in which apparently he got in an altercation with a police officer, and it sounds to me like he pistol whipped the police officer in the face, and then he found out, right? He got smoked by the off-duty police officer. And the family, again, since then has been boohoo, whining, crying foul, right? Saying that this was unjustified, that Elijah didn't do anything, that he's an angel. Like, you guys know how this goes every single time. Take a look.
Joining us live right near the scene.
And Hannah, Wilks' family is disputing the chief's account of what happened.
Oh, right, Derek and Deanna. So the family says that Wilks was actually on his way to a funeral when this all occurred here this morning. Family and friends rushing to the scene out here, confused and upset with what police say transpired right here along busy Mill Road. Dozens of close friends and family of this man, 26-year-old Elijah Wilks, gathered along an active police scene Thursday after learning an off-duty officer shot and killed their loved one following a chaotic chain of events.
Elijah's a very soft-spoken, well-mannered person. Good energy, outgoing, all about family and friends, not in the streets at all.
Police say a minor crash led to an altercation between Wilks and the plainclothed officer, which escalated to a shootout. Wilks' friends told 12 News they are not aware of him having a gun and dispute the information from police.
No, they're not telling the truth. That story they posted is not the truth. Quiet. Not the truth at all.
One witness who did not want to be identified told our James Stratton he heard an exchange of gunfire.
It was definitely a momentary pause between one gunshot and the return gunshots.
So you believe there were two separate guns?
Yeah, absolutely.
While a second witness told me a different version. They said that there was an exchange of gunfire. Did you ever see?
I heard one gun. I didn't hear two different type of gunshots.
The chief says per department policy, they will show the video they've obtained to the family within 48 hours. In the meantime, Wilks' family and friends sharing their heartbreak.
He was a very good friend of my daughter's. I mean, was at my mom's house on a daily basis, eating with us and everything. And to know that he's lying down there in that street right now, I'm just heartbroken.
All right, y'all, quick break from the show because this is important. Look, we talk a lot here about standing up for yourself, not letting big corporations, the government, or anybody else push you around. But what happens when real life hits, car accidents, workplace injuries, medical mistakes, and suddenly you're the little guy going up against a massive insurance company? Well, that's where Morgan & Morgan comes in. There's a reason reporters never run out of breaking news. Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. They've recovered over $25 billion for 500,000 clients with more than 1,000 lawyers nationwide, and they're built on one simple idea. For the people. That means when you're hurt, you don't pay them a dime up front. They only get paid if you win. And trust me, these big companies have teams of big lawyers working against you. You need somebody just as powerful fighting for you. When you hire Morgan & Morgan, it's like hiring a legal army that has your back. If you're injured because of somebody else's negligence, you deserve to be paid. So if you've been hurt in an accident, at work, or anywhere in between, don't roll the dice alone. You can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. You can start your claim now by clicking the link in the description or by scanning the QR code on screen from your phone's camera. Because at the end of the day, protecting yourself and your family isn't just common sense. It's conservative values in action. Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Now, the police did show the body cam footage to the family. And lo and behold, unsurprisingly, the BLM narrative has officially fallen apart.
Covering the big story for us tonight at 10, and TJ, the family attorney, describing what they saw in that video today.
That's right, Blake, telling us that that video came from the off-duty officer's personal dash camera. Now at a press conference, he got into detail describing the video, saying the officer did what he was trained to do.
Once we got an opportunity to actually see the video, there weren't many questions.
One day after an off-duty Milwaukee police officer shot and killed 26-year-old Elijah Wilks, Wilks' family and their attorney went before the cameras.
I don't think I've ever come before and did a press conference and said this, but we will acknowledge that we do believe that this officer-involved shooting was justified.
He made a decision that he should not have made. And that's just something we have to live with.
Milwaukee police showing Wilks' mother and attorney B. Ivory Lamar dash camera video from that off-duty officer's personal vehicle Friday, showing the moments before Wilks' death. It all started with a minor car accident near 49th and Mill Road Thursday morning.
He kind of aggressively maneuvered into this left lane and essentially cut off the off-duty officer at that point.
The pair pulled over, and in describing the video, Lamar says Wilks got out of the car and pulled a gun.
He does slap the off-duty officer with the firearm. After which the video does depict Elijah pointing the firearm at the off-duty officer. The off-duty officer did respond, what we believe, in accordance with his training, and did fire off several shots.
The family's attorney says it's unclear to him if Wilks ever shot his gun.
I don't recall specifically seeing an exchange of gunfire. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I did see him point the gun in the officer's direction for sure.
That's my only sibling, my only brother. My brother was all I got.
Wilks' family grieving, but recognizing the consequences of his decision.
It could have been any one of us or any one of our kids, because we all are one seat away from making the wrong decision.
Yeah, certainly two emotions can be felt all at once. TJ, that video, though, has yet to be released publicly.
Right, Blake, but MPD policy says that has to happen 15 days after the incident. That same policy says that family need to see the video within 48 hours. That's how Wilks' family and the attorney saw the video today. Now, at the press conference, they didn't show us the video. They only described it.
Absolutely. Very powerful press conference there. TJ.
Yeah, so I want to say this. Shout out to this family. Shout out to the family. Shout out to the attorney. Because they could have went the route that most of these individuals go down when the video doesn't match the narrative. They could have just lied because the public hasn't seen the video, right? And they could have just came out and said that, yeah, we feel as if the shooting was unjustified, that this happened because of racism, hate, and bigotry, that the officer overreacted, he used excessive force, right? They could have been going for the lawsuit, right? They could have been going for the money. And who knows, it could have worked. I mean, we've seen this stuff before. I mean, that recent incident that happened a few months ago with the individual who was not complying with police and then he ended up getting punched in the face and pulled out the car, and you got a bunch of idiots on the internet defending this guy, right, when he clearly was in the wrong, okay? Yeah, that happens, right? That is what happens a lot of times, and they could have went that route, but they decided not to. They actually decided to be honest and to acknowledge that, hey, this happened because the individual decided that he was going to attack a police officer, right? When you attack a police officer, when you pistol whip a police officer, when you slap a police officer with a gun, I mean, there's only a few ways that can really end up, right? Like, I mean, most of the time, yeah, it's going to end up being lethal, right? There are lethal consequences for that. And again, I'm happy that the family has accepted that, yeah, that is kind of how this goes, right? That is how this works. You can't pistol whip an off-duty police officer and expect to live, right? So, you know, again, most of the time, the way that this goes is they deny, they distort reality, they want to cry racism, they want to cry hate. But the fact that the attorney came out here and told the truth from the beginning, and that the family's coming out here and saying, yes, like, it is his fault, he put himself in this situation, like, these are the consequences for his actions, is sad, but what happened to him is his fault, right? They're not blaming systemic racism, they're not blaming the white man, okay? They're not blaming all these other people. They're blaming him. That is very rare in this country. And because I feel like it's very rare in this country, it is worth shouting out and acknowledging that this family is doing the right thing, because they certainly wanted the BLM narrative, right? They wanted to go with the narrative. He didn't do nothing wrong. He was a sweet angel, right? He would never hurt anybody. The officers are lying, right? That's what they wanted to go with. But when they saw the reality of what happened, they acknowledged reality for what it was, right? Which is very rare in this country. So ironically, okay, BLM, the BLM movement, they've demanded more transparency. They've demanded body cameras. But again, ironically, because of body cameras, the most damage to BLM and their narrative in this country has happened because of what they've demanded, right? They demanded transparency. And now that we have transparency, now that we have body camera where we can see that, hey, you guys lie a lot, right? That the officers aren't always lying. They aren't always the ones trying to distort the truth. Actually, it's these people trying to play victim. It's these race hustlers, these woke activists. You guys are the ones that are lying, okay? And with the body cam footage, people can see through the lies. And again, that has destroyed the BLM movement, right? That has destroyed the Black Lives Matter movement. Transparency. Again, it's just funny how that works. So, you know, again, I think it's worth shouting out the family and the attorney, because again, they could have went that route. They could have went the Ben Crump route. They could have went the Colin Kaepernick route. They could have went that route, but they chose not to. And I personally believe that that is commendable. Again, I'm sorry for the loss of this young man, but you know, this young man lost his life because of the decisions that he made. And again, you know, I think it's important that the family is doing what they're doing. They're admitting the truth, and hopefully moving forward into the future when stuff like this happens, you know, the acknowledgement of the truth from the beginning of all of this will hopefully prevent stuff like this from happening in the future. Because, you know, ultimately when you take responsibility and you tell people that, hey, this is what happens as a result of your behavior, and you're not going to be rewarded for it, you're not going to be celebrated for it, people aren't going to lie on your behalf, then maybe it will incentivize people to think before, you know, engaging in these types of, you know, activities. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.